evening, everybody. Hopefully you are here with us this evening. Sorry we're a couple of minutes late. We've been having a bit of a technical difficulty, and hostage cam this evening is no more. It has been axed. Honestly, we've had camera issues and lead issues and something little gremlin-y that's been creeping into the system and playing around with it. So Peter, you can no longer be on hostage cam. Come say good evening to the good people, and then we'll let you go back to your chair and retreat for a second. He is here, he is present and correct.
Hello all.
This is why we don't share a screen stand normally. This is my problem. This is why I have to have him sat over on the side. The joys of being 5 foot versus 7. It just doesn't work, does it? So this is the problem. If you are with us this evening and you have managed to wait a moment for us to get live and up and running, thank you for being with us. Tonight we are wearing a slightly different hat. We are wearing the red hat from the collection of brands behind us. Tonight we go to this window, the Woodware window, and we bring you a brand new sneaky peek with a collection designed by Francoise. It is absolutely beautiful, and I think you're going to fall in love with this if you haven't already, from a couple of sneaky peeks that we've been sharing on our socials over the last couple of days. Now, as always, before we do waffle on for the rest of the evening, please let us know if you can see us and hear us, and of course let us know if you're joining us this evening. Tonight might be slightly different. I'm not planning to do loads of demos, but there is a cheeky giveaway that we're going to be throwing at you at some stage, so keep your ears open. Now let's have a little look and see who is joining us. Who do we have here this evening? We have got Kim, Kathleen, Sue, Tracy, Denise, Charlene, Yvonne, another Kim, Deborah, Sue, Alison. You're all with us. Thank you very much for joining us. It is a joy to have you here with us. Now, I know that we've been telling you that a brand new Woodware collection is coming, and I haven't been lying when I tell you this is truly my favourite Woodware release, I think, ever. Not just under our umbrella, I mean ever, because I think this one's going to come in for everything, all year, every occasion, every tricky teenager, every man you don't know what to send to, every Mother's Day, every best friend's birthday. This collection is going to be the one I feel I will be reaching for, and you're going to have to let me know if you agree as we go throughout the collection and have a little look through it. But to me, it covers just about everybody I could possibly think of, and even occasions like New Year's Eve, for instance, which isn't far off, and we're going to be needing to be making our cards for that one soon, aren't we, if we haven't already. Now, there is a few bits I need to get out of the way before we delve on into this brand new collection and sneaky peek it. So lots to tell you about this evening, lots and lots actually. So I've got to try and keep in the game and keep on par, because it's highly likely that it isn't going to work. So try and keep me on track if you will. Now, as many of you know, we have had a little bit of a problem with our crafty concoctions. Ta-da! Am I pleased to announce that it has arrived right here at HQ today, and already our stockist parcels have left the building and are heading out of the door en route to our stockists. Now, we had to delay our stockist launch till Friday because they weren't ready for last Tuesday, and then very cheekily and naughtily that wasn't here either, so we've had to send it today, and it's now not going to be with them till tomorrow. I know. Honestly, the things that go on in a day around here just are not fair, and it was all down to customs being cheeky and holding on to our parcels. But today, 45 boxes of goodness arrived in the warehouse, and I'm not talking little boxes. Back though.
That's good.
Are we there?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Have a little look, see on your screen. Can you see me waving? Didn't froze, Lynn, I died. It all went terribly wrong, but am I back? Oh, I think we might be back, Peter. I think we might be back. Honestly, the gremlins at play this evening, they're being cheeky, aren't they? They're being proper cheeky. Hopefully, though, we are back with you. I don't know what went wrong. I can't even pretend I know. Little flicker in the box, and that was it. We was gone for a second. Hopefully, we are now back. So I will continue with where we left off and hope them little monsters stay put in the box. Okay, so crafty concoctions now in the warehouse and has been sent out to our stockists. We did give you this list. It is already up on the main page, but just in case you haven't already heard me waffle through these names of amazing stockists already, let's do a little run through. This little set of goodies will be available at Hadrian's Hobbies, who I believe are in the comments this evening. Good evening, Hadrian's Hobbies. It will also be available at Glitterbits Crafts and Gifts, Affordable Crafting, Dragons Papercraft, Craft Bliss, The Art of Craft, Into Craft, The Stamp Hut, Craft Mania, and of course our dear friends at Hobby Maker. I know that you've heard me waffle on about this lots and lots, but we have storage boxes, we have recipe cards, we have all of our amazing inks, then we have our beautiful glitters, and of course texture paste that you can pop all of that little lot into and create some amazing concoctions. If you haven't seen me waffle on about this, check out our live from Friday night, check out the shows on Hobby Maker, and of course keep an eye on the Crafty Concoctions Facebook page. And just in case we haven't bought you, oh, that's the wrong one. We've had to change all the little screens around on here. That's going to happen lots throughout this evening. Suddenly, well, this is no longer camera 1, this is camera 2. So watch out for that as we go through the evening. You might get sneaky little flashes of Peter looking very unprepared. It's going to be a fun one, isn't it? Okay, so all of these are now going to be available. And as I mentioned, lots more inspiration coming your way from Emma. Our lovely DT member Emma is sharing videos with you, I believe, every day at 6 p.m. on the Creative Expressions page and the Crafty Concoctions page too. So lots and lots of inspiration, even if it isn't every day, it's something along the lines, but there's lots coming your way. So keep an eye out for those. Okay, should we try and get this back on track? In the world of woodware, not only this evening do we celebrate a brand new collection that we are sneaky peeking, something else is going on this week too. There is some returning, heading back to the little box of doom, there is some returning woodware dies. Now it's taken us a moment to track these down. Volume up, we down again, are we?
We may have had a little anything. Be prepared. Be prepared.
I think in the death of me box it went down again, but now you'll get us back on full volume. Oh,
the poor
honestly,
things.
you don't have this for proper telly, do you? Okay, so these are now back in stock. What was funnier though in that was the actions Pete did to try and tell me. He just kind of raised the roof all on his own over in the corner for a brief moment. It was very funny. But yes, we are sorted and we are back. So, as I said, woodware dies back in stock. These ones are just 3 of the designs that are available. And now here, and some of these also match in with stamps that have also come back in stock recently too. So now I've set Pete's camera up because you don't want to see him miles away. Let's show you these 2. Honestly, I'm like a one-man band over here, directing, fixing me box, playing with me stamps, getting me dies out. It's all going on. So these are 2 of the tag stamps, designed of course by Francoise, which go with our tag die set. And as you can see, you have got the rivet parts. They're not called rivets, are they? Eyelets? Eyelet parts to go with the tags. And then you've got your 2 tags as well. There is of course this little set which is called Lost and Found, which gives you all of your tabs and your paper clips and your keys. And then there is of course this one too, which is the postage frame craft die. Then on top of that, we've got the Vintage Labels craft die set, which also, once again, goes with several stamps so that you can cut out the elements found within them. Those dies and stamps are now all available here at HQ. Creative Expressions HQ has them all and they will be heading out of the door shortly, I am sure, to some of our stockists around the world. So that's nice to know about woodware, isn't it? We like that. We like to see that not only is there... Oh, we're doing it again. Wrong camera. Back again. Honestly, that's going to take me all night to get used to that.
Behaviour, aren't I? Just
all night. If he falls asleep, we are going to catch him out, aren't we? He's going to have to stay with us this evening. Honestly, going to get little flashes of Pete, I feel. It's been a long day. What was I waffling on about that time before they got a flash of you that they weren't meant to be getting?
The die is heading out to stockists, I believe.
I've got no idea. Should we show you the new collection?
I think we should move on.
Show you the new collection. So as I say, this is lovely. Let's introduce you to our brand new collection. Now this is kind of the celebration collection really, and it's going to take you throughout the whole year. And that I think is what was really being aimed for with this one. And it also, I feel, fits in very nicely with the kind of Christmas vibes that we brought to you in the first release that Woodware did for us, or Francoise did for us under Woodware when we took it on. And it's kind of that same styling. And these have got some amazing names. This one is Carlos the Chameleon. And in with Carlos, you will see lots of flowers, a couple of little bumblebees to help build up his snack sort of pantry. We've got a little hat that we can pop on Carlos as well if we wish to, but we certainly don't have to. But it helps him celebrate the new year, celebrates birthdays, celebrates new arrivals, celebrates just about anything. When he's there, never a good time to wear a good party hat. And then across the bottom we have a wild birthday and you colour my world. What are you chuckling at over there? If you're not careful, we'll have another sneaky flash of you.
Naughty Diane, she says flashes of Pete with a little emoji, and then Kim says better that than Pete flashing.
This is true.
We'll be pushed off the airwaves.
Yes, I don't think anyone needs to see that.
Poor Francoise, she doesn't need this for her launch.
I know. It's completely unprofessional sneaky peek. We've had flashes and all sorts. And then we move on to our fishy set. Now this one is called Birthday Fish. And of course, as you can see, we've got a little fishy chasing a parcel as it swims through the ocean. I love this. It reminds me of Nemo. In with this little set, we have got some little fishies to help build up the scene. Little school of fishies, if you will. I always think I put a H in that, and I don't think there is one.
Shoal.
Shoal? Is that it? Not school, shoal. Okay, well anyway, lots of little fishies to build up your scene. Some little air bubbles to go in with the fishy too. And then we've got some little corally bits to go at the bottom of the ocean too. That would be where Nemo would be living. An anemone? Am I anywhere near right with that, or is that a flower?
It's a flower, but I think a sea anemone is something. Let's move on to the next step.
Yeah, move on to the next bit. I'll stop trying to be intelligent. In here as well, we have made all of your birthday fishes come true. Like that little play on words instead of wishes. And then at the bottom here, we've got keep swimming. Again, very Nemo-esque. And then moving forward, we have got Crazy Bird. Now, Crazy Bird is the one that we have given you a couple of flashes of. I know that Francoise has shared with you one picture of that, and I've done a couple as well to give you a bit of an idea with this one. This one is so fun. I'm going to predict that this one's probably going to be our most popular one, I reckon, but you're going to have to let me know in the comments later which one you think is going to be the most popular. But of course, you can see already how they build up beautifully to tell stories as you kind of go through the different pictures. This one, our Crazy Bird, has of course got a little hat that you can be wearing. We've got a little bow tie, a little streamy, blowy thing. What do they call them? Party streamer, maybe?
Yeah, streamers.
Yeah, streamer.
What was one of them?
No, a kazoo is one of them plastic things that they had at like football like 10 years ago. And everywhere you went, people blew them at you. They weren't fun. Then we've got, I hope they don't bring them back. Then we've got some little sunglasses to pop on Crazy Bird too, because Crazy Bird is very with it and happening, and of course needs sunglasses. Then we've got some flowers, some little hearts, got a little crown, and we've got a cheeky little tongue that we can pop in there if we want to as well, or of course leave off. So this one really does set itself up to be built into many different themes and styles. It might not be celebratory at all. It could be any occasion. Could be a get well soon. Could be a thinking of you. Could be lots of different things. But it certainly, again, does pick that sort of birthday vibe as well. Then we've got Eduardo the elephant. Now, I am going to be honest with you here. I am a bit obsessed with Eduardo. I think he is absolutely lovely. It possibly helps that in my little world, I am an elephant and Peter's a giraffe. So I do think we need to get Francoise to design a giraffe at some stage. Although, who was it who said that this reminded them of you? Yesterday, somebody said that.
They did.
They did. I'm sure they did.
Because it's fun and mischievous.
I think it's because he's tall.
It was, yes.
Who was that? Somebody said that. Pardon?
I was looking at the elephant.
Oh, no, I'm the elephant. You're anything that's tall. I'm short and dumpy. You're tall and skinny. So anyway, Eduardo the elephant. With this one, it's got your unique make-a-wish and it's your day with some little hearts. Again, some little blobbles and a little border element too. Very, very cool to help you build up your scene and, of course, give a landing point for Eduardo to be standing on. Then we move on to Tony the Toucan. Now, Tony, again, very, very cool, and it's going to help you with this one because it's got some other scene elements in the set too. So you've got the little present, which of course is going to work throughout the whole set. We've got the birthday cake, and we've got what I found the most usable hat because it's open at the bottom. Now, of course, you can mask off the other hat if you want to, but it kind of stands very easily on all of the characters and can be built in different ways. So that can be kind of nice. There is also a little star and a little heart in this set too, and as well as like little confetti pieces, which help once again build up that party scene if that's what you'd like to do. There is also Let's Celebrate as a sentiment in this one, which of course works across the whole thing. And as you're probably spotting and noticing, the same font style and sizes has been used throughout all of the different sentiments. So you've got your unique Let's Celebrate, Make a Wish, It's Your Day, and then it runs through the rest of them too. So of course that can be interchanged, so you can use whichever sentiment you want to with whichever stamp you wish to. Then our last character stamp, we have got the party animal, a little cheeky sloth which is hanging in the trees with a little birthday cake there, and of course the hat already on his head. Now, not only do we have the little sloth in this one, we have got the little envelope, we've got chill out, happy birthday, party animal, and a little seal as well, which says love you with a heart in the middle of it too. There is again another little star to help you build up them scenes. And that completes all of your main characters within this release. Now, what one has already stolen your heart? Do you have one that you're looking at and going, you know what, I need that? Because if so, let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear which one is winning your heart. But we did not stop there. Francoise did not stop there. She knew that if we were going to go big on celebrations, we would need some cheeky balloons to put into that celebration set. So we bring you some balloons, some strings, happy birthday, let's party, and wishing you a happy birthday sentiment to add into this set. And of course, anytime we're going to have party elements going on, we need some balloons to build up that background. We need some balloons to put under Tony the Toucan's little wing there. We need some balloons to go in behind the crazy bird. And this is going to work perfectly because of not only do we get one balloon, we get 4 different balloons. And of course, that also helps build different themes. Maybe the star is going to be the one that you use for Happy New Year. Maybe the heart balloon is the one that you're going to use for Valentine's. And then you've got the more traditional balloon shapes as well, which of course make up a lovely little scene all on their own and can of course be used independently, but do of course work brilliantly with the set too. And then lastly, our 8th stamp in the collection is this one here, and this one is called Birthday Numbers. I should have remembered that, shouldn't I really? In here we have got our birthday number set all the way through from 0 to 9, making sure that you can cover all of those. You've got congratulations, second, stu, buddy, and fu, how old and happy. You've got the tags to put them onto. You've got birthday and anniversary, so of course those numbers could be for anniversaries if you prefer. And then you've got your birthday elements too, and you've got your little heart to go with it. And we're sticking with that same font and style that's running through the rest of the collection, so that we can of course personalise every single element of this, whatever the celebration may be. And not only are we talking celebrations with this set, maybe we're talking journaling, maybe we're talking scrapbooking. And I also really love this happy birthday washi tape element because that's great for building backgrounds to go behind all of these characters as well. Now, Peter, have they started telling you which one is their favourite character? Do we have any confessions of a favourite as yet?
Well, Crazy Bird and the Sloth seem to be the ones that are chosen.
Oh.
Julia loves the Crazy Bird. She says you're not dumpy, by the way. So
dumpy. I don't mind being dumpy, Julia. I'm not worried. Now, all of those recommended retail prices are $8.99, but we did not stop there. Oh no, no, no. Let's bring in our party time paper pad. Excuse the rustling while I get this out of the bag. Not planned at all. Let's have a little look at this little paper pad, shall we? So this one is $10.99 recommended retail price. It includes 24 double-sided pages. There are 6 designs and there are 4 sheets of each. Now, I know that we've mentioned this previously, but Francoise has purposely designed her pads that we are now releasing for you. So the reverse of them is very generalised. So it doesn't matter what's going on the front of each page. The reverse is going to be able to be used all throughout the year for whatever occasion you may like to use it for. Now I'm going to show you them in this format because, to be honest with you, it doesn't matter which way round we use these or which side we use. They're going to be completely usable whichever direction you wish to go in. Now at this stage we start to repeat as we run through. but you can see that you're getting lots of value for money, lots and lots of pages. You can stamp on these are uncoated, you could die cut them. You could of course bring your characters to life on these if that's what you would like to do. The options truly are endless, and once again this is a pad that is going to take you through many occasions depending on where you wish to take this one. The blue one of course is great for that fishy as well, because it does look a little bit under the sea, doesn't it? But it is a beautiful paper pad and a true essential that I think is going to come in time after time. And this one is called Time to Party, and recommended retail price for that one is £10.99. Now, moving on, something else that we have introduced in this collection is some dies. Now, I know there is just not enough Woodware dies in the world. I've shown you a few that are returning favourites that are now back in stock with us here at HQ, but it is time to bring you 2 brand new ones. And you can see who's designed these, can't you? Don't they just fit perfectly in with this collection? They've got that same unique kind of quirky look to them, which is what we expect and what we want to complement our stamps. And here we have 2 different sets. We have got our funky frame, which actually has in here a whopping 9 dies. So when we have a little look at this one, you can see there are separate frames, there are separate panels, and there are separate twiddly bits as well, which can be used up to kind of build up a background, again giving that kind of streamer vibe. And then we have our A6 numbers craft die set. Now this one not only brings with it the numbers, it also brings a little tag element too, and it has this really cool frame that everything can sit within if you wish to as well. And these are a different size to the stamps, so that we're kind of trying to cover all areas, and whether we want them to be focal point numbers or whether we want them to be, once again, more for maybe journaling, or maybe we're thinking of doing some advent calendars for next year, or maybe we want them for pages in our journals, pages in our albums, special dates, whatever they may be. You have now got the ability to go in and cut them out with your dies. And these die sets, recommended retail price, each is £14.99. So whether you're going for this one with 12 in it or this one with 9 in it, you're only paying £14.99 per set. Now I have cheated this evening. I have cheated a little bit. I haven't stuck these down because I wanted you to see all of the different pieces. These are all of the different bits which come from in that frame set. So not only do we get the frames, which of course are kind of a given, and you would have expected that from having a little look at it on the packaging, you also get some really nice decal edge ovals that are going to come out of the middles of them. And you also get these really cool little delicate frames that are also in there as well, if you choose to die cut several elements at one time, as well as the little twiddly bits too. And then the frame itself, of course, can be used in either direction. And this little fun frame is perfect for adding some little glitter glues onto, or our dotty stuff, or of course some pearls or gems if you wanted to kind of build up that scene too. Then if we look to the number set, once again I've cheated, I've been a bit naughty, I've not stuck them all down, but it gives you that idea that actually we could be cutting these out and we could be putting them as confetti in our envelopes or in our cards if we wanted. And then of course we have our frame element, and we also have the panel which comes out in the middle, which you might choose to stamp on and then place back in, or use completely independently. And once again, you've got your little tag element, which again, not only do you get your tag bit, you of course get the negative piece that cuts out, which you might wish to stamp onto and place back inside that tag too. Both of those sets are £14.99 each. Then lastly, we move on to our stencils, but I feel Peter over in Hostage Corner may well have a question.
Oh, a quick question. Tim just asked, can you buy the full collection?
You can do. So this will be launching on Hobbymaker this Saturday. So Saturday at 1 PM and 5 PM, Francoise will be live on Hobbymaker and we'll be launching it kind of exclusively with Hobbymaker. It will be available at our demo day at Craftmania on the same day. Whenever we have a demo day on the same day as a show or on the same day as a launch, then we are a bit naughty and we do let that demo day have them products as well. So it will be available at Craftmania on the demo day, but actually for the rest of the world, it won't be available online. It will just be available in store at that demo, and then it will launch to all of our stockists on the following Tuesday. What's the date for that, Peter?
I wanted to say the 16th.
Is it the 16th?
We
think the 16th, but it's always the following Tuesday, unless customs holds our parcels up. But I can tell you, all of this is in the building already, so we should be good. If we're not good, complaint, let us go to Peter. That's how this works. All complaints to Peter.
He's so kind.
I am. I like to share it out. But no, so it should launch to stockists on Tuesday but it will be available on Hobby Maker as of Saturday. And there will, of course, be a cheeky bundle if you fall in love with it and you want all of it, and we certainly wouldn't blame you if you do. The two stencils, these are the two stencils which are added into this collection. So we have got our lovely balloons, which, as you can see, because we felt they were very usable, not only have we give you the balloon stencil, but we've also give you the negative part of them as well. So again, you could lay them out onto your mats, you could emboss them if you wish to, you could lay them down and spritz over the top of them, whether that's with one of your crafty concoctions that you've put into a mister and using, or of course one of our mica mists or any other misters you already may have, or of course our enchanted sprinkles. And then we also have this really cool background one as well, and this one is called Funky Dots. Funky Dots 2 would be a really good textural one because it's kind of got that animal printy look to it, so it may well go in quite nicely with some of our big focal stamps too. Now, if you have any questions about any of the new goodies I've shared with you, please do let us know, and I will, of course, take you through them again a little later on. But that shares all of our brand new Woodware goodness with you. Now, it's one hell of a collection, isn't it? There's a lot of goodness in there, and I have a feeling it's going to prove rather popular. Now, if you remember, our very first Woodware release that we did under our new umbrella was, of course, the collection featuring our penguins, our lovely snowman. Do you remember this when it came out? This sold out literally in the first hour on Hobby Maker, didn't it, Pete? And we went on to extended dispatch, and it was a whole thing, and it took a long time. We've tried our best this time to make sure that that doesn't happen. We do have big stocks, but it will, of course, be down to how many of you come in to get hold of it. So if it is something you're liking the look of, don't dilly-dally when it gets to launch time. Make sure you get it ordered as soon as possible. So now we've been through that little collection, I want to share with you lots and lots of inspiration, because our DT have been working their little fingers to the bone to make sure we have lots and lots of inspiration to share with you. But before we move on, I told you tonight there's a lot to get through. I have two more things I want to talk about, and then I promise DT overload. Lots and lots and lots of inspiration. Okay, so two more things to chat about. One is that tomorrow our brand new Sue Wilson collection will become available at 10 AM at our stockists. Now, I don't have a huge list of these to read out this evening, so don't panic about writing them down too quickly. You might be okay for this one, but these will be available at The Art of Craft, Into Craft, Craft Mania, and of course they're available at Hobby Maker as well. To be honest with you, it's been quite a quick release, this one. It's been quite a quick turnaround, and I have a feeling that in the next coming days we will be having more stockists come in and be adding this to their collections. So if I haven't mentioned your favourite stockist already, don't be alarmed, just keep an eye on them. Things have been going at quite a rapid rate round here the last couple of weeks, and I think it might have taken them a bit by surprise that this one's being released tomorrow. So do keep an eye out. But it is our brand new collection from Sue Wilson, which of course is going to set you up for Valentine's Day, as well as anniversaries, as well as weddings. It's a beautiful collection, and if you didn't catch the shows on Hobby Maker with Gwen just the other day, then do have a little look back. She was on Thursday.
Yeah.
It was Thursday, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm confident it was Thursday. It was Thursday. Yeah. Go on then, Pete. Wow us. What were the times?
Oh, now you're asking.
Oh, you should see the perplexed look on his little face. I wouldn't have a clue either, don't worry. But they are now going to be launching tomorrow morning at 10 AM with the stockists I mentioned. And then lastly, before we go into DT inspiration overload, something else I wanted to mention. You know that we spoke about these Woodware dies coming back in stock. They didn't come alone. They brought with them some friends. Quite a few friends, actually. And this is something that I know our dear Gwen has been after for a while. Boom! The decorative squared rectangles are back in stock. That is one that she has been chasing us for a little while to get hold of. It is back. So are the looped circles. So are the looped ovals. So is the pierced lattice background. I love this one. Got a bit of a soft spot for this one. It is meant to be part of the festive collection, but do you know what? Again, it just comes in all year round. To me, add a bow on the top, it looks like a present. Would work very, very nice with this brand new collection if you went down that line. You can also thread through it and weave through it. You can also paper piece back into it the sections that come out of it, and you can also cut it once in one direction, twist it the other way and create like a little grid work with it as well. So lots and lots and lots of ways you can use that one, and it's one of my faves. Then we move on to lots of sentiments. We have on your special day, we have Merry Christmas, we have Happy, which is a vertical happy birthday version, or birthday's vertical, happy and treat go the right way, but verticalness with the birthday. We also have Happy Birthday Wishes, which are our balloon tail sentiments. So going with that lovely big balloon die that I believe is in our Black Friday sale.
It is, yeah.
It is, isn't it? I had a feeling it was. So if you did get hold of that in the Black Friday sale, you might want some nice fancy tails to go on them balloons. That is the one that you need. But to be honest, I just love this because I think it looks like really fancy handwriting. Forget the tail aspect, forget the balloons. It's just a really nice one to actually kind of give a bit of a flourish to your happy birthday. Then we have we have lots of mini expressions coming up. We have Happy Birthday to an amazing friend, Merry Christmas, Happy Anniversary, Happy Retirement, Thinking of You at Christmas, Birthday Wishes, Happy Birthday with a layered background, Happy Birthday big font, Hope Your Day is Wonderful with Sympathy, Happy Birthday, Get Well Soon, Thinking of You, Happy Anniversary. Have we done Happy Anniversary twice, or have I dreamt it? Oh no, that was Happy Birthday. That's okay then. To a Special Friend, Best Wishes, Happy Birthday. On Your Wedding Day, With Love at Christmas, and a very Merry Christmas to you. Now you might wonder, why are we bringing you all of this Christmas goodness on what is nearly Christmas? It's because we know that you make your Christmas cards all throughout the year, and one of the things we've been asked for the most recently is to reinstate and rebuild our mini expressions collection. So as you can see, lots of those are now back in stock, and we'll be heading out of the door once again to our stockists. They've literally been being unpacked throughout the last couple of days. So keep an eye on your stockists. I don't have a list to read out to you just yet, but keep an eye on them because they will be heading out the door and back into the hands of the stockists, which, as you know, is the only way we sell. We only sell for our stockists. So if you've got a favourite stockist, then of course, I'm sure they won't mind me saying this, reach out and say, Jamie's told me, he's waffled on forever, he's told me that X or Y or Z is back in stock. Can you add it to your next order and get it in for me? And I'm pretty sure them stockists would be very grateful to do that for you. Now, do we have any questions before we delve on into inspiration overload?
No, all good.
Now, I'm going to be honest. I haven't even looked through these samples. You and me, we're going to go through these for the first time together this evening and see what's been being created. Because do you know what? I thought it'd actually be really lovely to have a bit of a cheeky surprise. Because usually I've mauled through them and I know what's coming up. But tonight I thought it would be fun if it was a surprise for me and you too. So let's have a little delve in and see what's been being created, shall we? Now, these are all done by Laura. Now, isn't that cute? Isn't that adorable? Don't you just love him? I think these are gorgeous. So this, of course, is with our lovely chameleon, which, of course, is Carlos, isn't it? I'm trying to remember their names. I will get this down at some point in life, I promise. But this is Carlos the chameleon. And I know that Laura has used our Atomics glitters because, of course, chameleons change colour. So she has gone for our Atomics glitters over a self-adhesive sheet. She has then heat embossed our Carlos over the top of it. Now, I hadn't seen the card, but I did have a little rundown from Laura about this one because she was like, I thought the Atomic glitters and I thought that'd be brilliant. And actually, don't they look amazing over the top here? Lovely shaped card, and of course using our pinstripe stencil in the background. And then these cheeky little swirls, don't forget those ones come from the die sets as well. So lots and lots of fun being created in that one. Now this is nice. Of course we are very character heavy with this collection, but it doesn't have to all be about the characters. Maybe it's just about the numbers you want to bring in and play with. So again, Laura has used our Atomics glitters to create a background, and she has added the number 13 running throughout this one. That's a really fun, simple card for a teenager actually. Sometimes they can be a bit tricky to know what to create, and that would be absolutely perfect. Laura herself has a 13-year-old, does she not? Did Laura just turn 13? Am I remembering this right? Lucy. not Laura. That would be a bit weird.
That would, wouldn't it?
That'd be a bit of a problem, wouldn't it? I don't know if we could hire.
Did she turn 14?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, Laura, no, she's 13.
I think she did. 13.
Laura, help us.
Laura's in the comments, I'm sure. I have a feeling, actually, and this is kind of striking me. I'm seeing a bit of a pattern. I have a feeling that our dear Laura is a bit taken with the Atomic Glitters. This isn't a prompted creation overload of Atomic Glitters, but I can see here how she's used them in all 3 projects, which is lovely because it's great to see that they're coming in handy for every single occasion and every kind of theme. And of course, working here with our wonderful sloth.
She is 13.
13, see?
Yeah.
If we'd done a little test there, a little quiz, we could have done this. That could have been our millionaire question. Then we move on to a bit of MDF. And I love the way Laura does this. She often brings her MDF into her creations for her DT samples. And also another thing that she likes to sneak in is our lovely linen paper, which does work really nicely with these animals because again it gives that little bit of texture and depth. Adding on the flowers around the side here, these are lovely. These are one of Sue's dies, which will be available on the shows on Saturday as well. That's the Dynamic Daisies, if I remember correctly. So keep an eye out for those. Another one Laura's created here, painted in with the Chromolab inks, and actually mixing in some of the OptiGold to make that lovely fluorescent-y sort of glitzy look to some of the fish scales that you can see here. She also built up that little worker stamp to make that beautiful border running across the bottom. Doesn't that work well? Sometimes I think when we look at stamps, we only see these little elements and we kind of feel that that's all they're going to be. But here, doesn't that show so perfectly how that could be taken and created into a much bigger background? So you've really saved a few pennies there on not having to have a big background and actually just taking that small element and making that as big as you want it to be. Now, Laura was also working with this recently. This is one of our dies of the week that's just gone by, this lovely layered Sue Wilson die. And she's the DT member who did the pandas popping out from all of the different pieces and actually turned it that way, and it looked a bit like bamboo. So to see this background being brought in to actually be waves to go behind our little cheeky fishy here is perfect. Now this one's a fun one, again by Laura, and this time you can see that the stencils have come into play, those balloon stencils, as well as our Crazy Bird stamp. Now actually, this is a good time to break out for a second and give you our competition for this evening. I don't think with all of these samples I'm going to get much chance to make anything this evening, and I do like to make sure we give something away. It's kind of our bit, it's kind of our way that we give back. So this evening, it struck me that our Crazy Bird stamp doesn't have a name. I would like you to name our Crazy Bird. What would you call this if you was giving it a name? Now, bear in mind, we'd got Eduardo the elephant and we'd got Tony the toucan, for instance. So this here Crazy Bird, what would you call it? Pop your names in the comments and Pete will pick a winner to receive 2 of our back in stock Woodware dies, just as a little thank you for tuning in this evening and joining us, just in case we don't get a chance to make anything that's actually worth giving away. Just in case. If we do, we'll pop it in with it as well. But if we don't, you've got 2 dies coming your way. So let us know in the comments, what would you call our Crazy Bird if you could give it a name? Okay, so back to our inspiration. Sticking with some of Laura's creations. Oh, this one's lovely. So again, this time we've got Tony being brought in, and Tony fits so nicely within that frame, doesn't he? Doesn't that look beautiful? I love this. And we can see the inked balloons going through the background as well from the stencils. So really building up here. This is actually a really great example because we have, of course, got the papers, I believe, that Laura has stamped onto. We've got the frames coming in from the dies, and we've got the stenciling in the background. So stamps, stencils, dies and papers all being used on this one card. Doesn't that look great? Then another one here by Laura, bringing in a lovely elephant, a cheeky little elephant, and I can see she's mixed in some of that OptiGold from the Crafty Concoctions to paint with her Chromolab inks over the top of that, and really matched in the colours to the colours that you're going to find within the paper pad too. Now this one's a cheeky one. Our dear Crazy Bird is really in Party Central, with its little blubber in its mouth, its cake down on the side here, and its balloons going through the air. And this is something that I never even thought of, and I know I shouldn't confess this, but often, and this is why we have a DT to be honest with you, often I forget what we can be doing with different bits and pieces, and I never imagined stamping on the balloons with some of the other stamps. I know that sounds silly. I think I did a star and a heart on them, but I never thought of adding the words or the numbers. And I know that Francoise has got lots of samples she'll be sharing with you on Saturday where she's stamped the numbers onto the balloons, but I never thought about putting the words on. I think that looks really good. And then another little piece of MDF here, again done by Laura, where she's brought in the papers, she's die cut out some of the flowers, added a couple of stamps onto here as well, just as a nice little tag. Isn't that a lovely idea? And then her last card by Laura is this one here. And doesn't this show how our dear Crazy Bird can really be taken off in different themes and styles? And that separate tongue, as you can see, can really help tell a cheeky story, can't it? And if you look at and actually separate these two, there's such different vibes going on. They work brilliantly together, but doesn't it show how either of these could be the focal point to your card? But actually together, what a pair. And of course, happy anniversary is a sentiment Laura's added to this one. And I know a few couples in my world that would fit that card very nicely. And of course, not only do we have the stamps going on and layered and cut and sort of built up to create this beautiful effect, this has also been done on the paper pad in the background too. So papers coming through from the background, stamps being used for the top bit there. Just a little bit of fussy cutting around, cut them out and build them up. It works a treat. And I do love the Dame Edna glasses that are going on here on this one. Doesn't that just make you smile? So there's Laura's samples. Just to give you a glimpse at a few, let's move on to our next pile. Now our next pile is our Princess of A6. This is our lovely Christine Smith, and we call her the Princess of A6 because we have to hold the crown of Queen of A6 for our dear Francoise, because of course everything she does is A6, and that's a great thing and we love her for it. But now we've introduced Christine on our DT, you will soon spot that every card she makes, pretty much every card I feel I've ever seen of hers, always tends to be A6, and I never get over how much she crams into a card, how many components she manages to fit onto one card on such a small footprint. You know me, everything I make tends to be 8x8 or 10x7 or 7x7, and I do that mostly because I never feel I can tell a story on a small footprint. But she does it, and she does it so well. Every time these come through, they blow my mind. How much detail, and it's not overloaded. It's a beautiful theme, a beautiful set. And I love the way they all fit. When they come in to us, they come in a little box, and they're all there, and they're just, everyone's a different version, a different story. And I love it. I think it's brilliant. And it just shows how actually you can have that limit of a size, or a footprint, or a style, but everything's going to work beautifully for you. And maybe you're somebody who is making to sell and you want to put these together in a little box and sell that as a little gift that they can then hand out throughout the year. Wouldn't that work so beautifully? Or maybe with these ones, of course, you could even just stamp them out on white card and leave them to be coloured in and make it like a little colouring box set if you prefer. Now, as we go through these, of course, we've got Carlos the Chameleon, we've got our beautiful fishy. The fishy, if you didn't get it, is in a little shaker card created with that frame. And inside the little shaker element, not only do we have some of our atomic glitters, Christine has also die cut some of the numbers and popped into there as well. And then here we've got Eduardo, our elephant, and he again has been built up on a little spring. And in the background, we can see one of our crafty concoctions being built in throughout the stencil there of the balloons to really help tell that story. Then we move on and we've got Tony the toucan. This time we can see that Tony's kind of gone off on a bit of a spiral. It's been a heavy night for Tony. He's out there partying the night away to celebrate that 3rd birthday, with the balloons all being built up on little foam pads to give some depth and really tell that story once again. We've got the birthday cake added down here and the Let's Celebrate. Then we move on to the Crazy Birds. So the Crazy Birds are on here, 2 of them this time, once again, one with a little crown, one with those little glasses. Those glasses just make me smile. There is something about when Crazy Bird wears the glasses that genuinely just makes me smile. Then we move on and we've got another one of the Crazy Birds, this time actually really lovely, showing you slightly a different version, because we've built Crazy Bird up coming out of the frame, and you can see here the die being used to cut the aperture to tuck Crazy Bird into, and then the actual die cut being done in purple and being sunk back into that aperture, And then of course the paper's being put behind it. Once again, the tongue has been put in place to just tell a bit of a cheeky story with this one. And we've got the swirls from the die set coming in, and we've got the number dies as well. So again, one of those perfect cards showing you lots of different elements from the collection all coming together perfectly. Then Christine's gone off with our little fishy and created this background, and I can see that there's been some stenciling done here using those swirls from the die set, probably the negative part of the die set being used to actually go through, the waste if you will, being used to stencil through. Some of the little bubbles coming in. We've then got the little worker fish stamp being added in as well as the words keep swimming. Another one where Christine has built up into the aperture. So the aperture once again being created by that frame die set. Not only has she cut in and then built back into with Carlos, she's also used a little bee stamp to go all the way around it as well, which is a really nice addition. And then that element that's cut that aperture, she's once again cut that in 3 colours and added those going around the bottom of that card. It's this little attention of detail that to me really fills this out and makes it a stunning card. And colour matches in with the colouring that Carlos has been created with.
A quick question from Julia.
Hello, Julia.
Is the postage frame stencil back in stock yet?
It isn't, but it's en route. It's coming. 70 others. Can't lie to you, it's a work in progress. We have a bit of a stencil backlog, don't we? But they are all en route. So again, just keep an eye on us as we rebuild our Woodware kind of brand and build it out as best we can. They are coming back as well. But yes, Francoise has been a very busy stencil designer, and I believe there is a back catalogue of about 70 designs, is there not? Right. That we are working through, and the minute they're ready, we will be announcing that they have returned in stock once again. It's just trying to juggle it all at one stage, but we're juggling the best we can. They will be en route as soon as we can get them here, so just keep an eye out. It won't be long, hopefully, at this stage. And once again, all letters of complaint go to Peter. He's a stencil cutter, so we'll get on with those, won't we, Peter?
We will, and they will obviously be in the upgraded thicker mylar. They
will be, yes, which is something we're really wanting to do. And we often talk about this, but our mylar that we cut our stencils from is a lot thicker, and that works really well because it means that not only when we put our texture paste through do we get a thicker indentation, it also means if we wish to, we can emboss them for our machines with our rubber mat and get like a 2D, like an original style embossing, not the fancy 3D embossing because that's a bit much to ask from a stencil, but if we put them through a rubber mat we will get quite a nice deep impression, and it just gives us more value for money out of our stencils, but hopefully it doesn't cost you any more pennies because our stencils are priced very, very keen indeed. Any more questions, Pete?
No, all good.
Okay, so another little one here with Eduardo coming in on the side here with the 12 numbers being added and then the happy and the birthday element as well as the little presents being built up. Another little one here with our sloth coming in. And again, I love the way that Christina has added these little components layering over the top of her design as well as these beautiful daisies being added throughout, of course cut from the paper pad. And then we've got 2 more to share from Christine. You can see Christine's been very carried away with these beautiful creations. And the 2 we're bringing in this time are focusing in on those balloons. So we've got lots of balloons, whether we're going lots of colours, full on birthday celebration, or of course just paring it back slightly to stick to one tone, maybe a little bit more of an adult card heading for a 24-year-old instead of the young kind of full on radiance of colour. But this is the beauty about these stamp sets, is being able to pick where you wish to take it. You'll also notice how Christine has stamped the 24 running around in the background in the same colour palette that she's been building up with, using the stamps to match in with the dies as well. So again, giving that ability to tell a story and build right the way from the background, right the way up to the foreground, because if you've got those matching stamps and dies to work through. Then we'll move these ones out of the way for the second and we will move on to our next little pile of goodness. I told you we'd got an awful lot of samples to share with you this evening, and this is what I absolutely love about our DT. They go overboard with the creations to make sure that we can give you lots and lots and lots of inspiration. And this time we're going to be looking at Siobhan's samples. Now look at this. Isn't that just amazing? If you were the little one, would you not love to have that as a door plaque? And this is what I love about this collection. We talk about it being a celebration collection. We talk about it being there for your birthdays and your New Year's and all of those different bits and bobs. But actually, when we strip it back, these are just fun, happy characters that could be used for a whole manner of reasons, including, of course, like this, home decor and gift giving. Isn't that beautiful? I love this. That really does make me smile. Again, samples I've not seen before, so when I see it, I'm just so impressed with it. And I love the way it's complemented the stars running throughout here on the wand. Another one here from Siobhan, of course, bringing in our sloth, and again, building that up with the frame. And I love the way she's put the vellum in the frame to kind of diffuse the background so the sloth stands out more, but yet we can still see that background. We've still got that kind of jungle vibe going on because we can still see it through the vellum. And then, of course, we've also brought in the little seal on the top there too, which is really lovely. Now, this is cool. This one, again, created with our number die set. And Siobhan has used the number dies to cut the background out. So these are all cut out. So we've cut them out of the pink. I'm sure she's used those on a future project. I'm sure we'll be seeing them shortly. But then actually, it reminds me a bit of like a bingo machine, you know, when all of the numbers are flying through the air. A little bit of a lottery style machine, but focused in on the birthday in question, the 21 at the bottom here, and adding wishing you a happy birthday across the base of it. Now this is cool. Siobhan has taken out a little fishy and she's put him in a little fish bowl. Doesn't that work well? Isn't that a great idea? Proper little fish bowl. And then of course added a little vase on the side here with some embossing folders being used and a little branch as well, of course, by Sue Wilson. Added in across the bottom, kind of like the doily, if you will, the tablecloth, if you will, the side, using our eyelet lace, daisy eyelet lace squares. So it really does actually bring together, that really tells a story. Even having the wallpaper in the background from the paper pad complementing the colours being used, of course, in the fishbowl. And that's really good because if you kind of diffuse the colour of the wallpaper through there, so that actually works quite nice, doesn't it? What cool idea. I really love that. Very, very fun. Then moving on, we've got our lovely Eduardo the elephant, once again front and centre on this one, being brought in once again with our lovely daisy eyelet circles. Then we go back to Carlos the chameleon, being framed in our lovely little frame set, which comes with our numbers. Those are dynamic daisies being added around the front here as well. Some stamping going on this time over the top of that paper pad, which is why it's so good. It's an uncoated paper pad. It really does mean like these little daisy flowers could be added onto it and they're going to complement perfectly in with the background. She's also added the little bee or the little fly onto the edge of his tongue too. So Carlos is a happy little chameleon having a little snack. Then we move on to Tony. Tony once again is full up there with all of the florals and foliage, and as we can see, that Atomics colour change glitter has been used over the flowers this time, and that's really lovely actually, because we've kind of got the greens complementing the flourishes and all of that foliage, but we've kind of got the oranges coming through too, matching in with Tony's beak, of course, and his hat. Now this is lovely. How cool is this one? This time we've got that crazy bird stamp being used in this kind of picture frame-esque look, maybe a mirror-esque look, with the how old stamp being added in, a little Diamante collar going on, and of course the crown being put on the top there with some gems added into it as well. Little flourishes and flowers running around the side to just set that off and matching, of course, with the papers in the background. And the papers in the background once again have been stenciled over with the balloon stencil. That balloon stencil has also been used for this card, coming in with our OptiGold and some of our Chromolab inks. And then I can see the Hip Hip Hooray, one of Sue Wilson's mini expressions, has been cut out of a sheet that's been covered with our black diamond glitter. Then we move on to another one here with Tony. Tony is again front and centre on this one. Nice bright card once again. Loving this lime and orange colour combination. And I also really like the way that Siobhan's cut out that middle frame element with the outside edge and then put the two back together to make a double frame effect for the happy birthday stamped element. Then we move on and we've got another little under the sea fishy scene, but this time we've got lots of fishies going on, whether it's the big ones or the little ones, really building up that scene and adding in Keep Swimming to run through it. And then we move on to our last, oh no, penultimate one. Forgive me, I've spotted a box for us to look at as well. I wonder what's in the box. Again, we're back to Carlos, full-on chameleon colours going on this one, with our Atomics glitters being used over the flowers to wrap around the side. And then this lovely little heart flourish from Sue Wilson, just finishing off the edge there, giving a really dainty little finishing touch to that set. Now, this box has got quite a bit of weight to it, so I have a feeling if we dig in here, there's going to be a little surprise or two maybe. So on the top of the box, we've got our balloon stamps being used over the top of our papers. The papers, once again, have been stenciled by the looks of things with that balloon stencil. Corner rounded on the next level down, which is really lovely because it gives a professional finish. And then, oh, what have we got in here? We've got little envelopes. What are we... This is genuinely, I don't know. I've not been in here. I don't know what we're going to find. What are we going to find? Oh, this is cool. Look at these. So we've got all little tabs. So this is, I have a feeling that I know what's going on here. Do you know I said to you earlier, if you were making to sell, we could add in little tabs. We could add in uncoloured in imagery. I'm sure there's a better word for that. And then I think Siobhan's taken this one step further. Not only do we have those, oh, look at this. This one's filled full of flowers and foliage. What a gift. Or maybe not a gift. What a thing to be able to sell. The freedom to create and finish as you want to. I'm going to guess there's numbers in this one. I could be wrong. I might look even more daft than I normally do. Let's have a little look. Oh no, my guess, suspicions were right. We are filled full of numbers in this one. So we've got our numbers, we've got our finishing foliage and flowers, we've got our finishing sentiments in this one and our little tags. There's a lot gone into this one. Thank you very much, Siobhan. And then we've got some stamped pieces, so these could be cut and layered on if we wanted them to be, couldn't they? Oh, wait there. I feel, explanations as well. What we got here? Birthday card kit. Colouring your cards with crayons, coloured pencils, felt pens, or watercolour paints. Choose a greeting and glue in place. Add some finishing touches like flowers, hearts, numbers, etc. Find the coordinating envelope. Your card is now ready to post or give to a friend or family member. What a lovely idea. Even a little explanation that's going into this one too. At the base, even matching envelopes. Look at these. This is absolutely lovely, Siobhan. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if I see this on a store for sale, I would be well all over this because to me, that's the perfect gift to give, especially on the countdown to Christmas when we've got a few people that we're not too sure necessarily what we're going to be giving them. Maybe we know they're into colouring, but they're not necessarily into card making, but yet we want to give them a gift that they can then hand out throughout the year. Wouldn't that work brilliantly? And then having all of these components, if we go back to this, shall we just play the card-architect, if you will, architecty card-architect? We could add on a Have a Wild Birthday, we could add on a number from this set. Now, whether we choose to include some pens in this gift, or maybe we choose to include some glue to add on the finishing touches, we can see actually how they could have the joy of building this up and finishing this off to however they wish to. Maybe they know who it's going to go to and they want to add in the details to fit that person, or the colour scheme that they like, or the finishing touches that they feel they're going to enjoy most. Isn't that a lovely gift? It's like giving the gift of crafting without actually that person having to have the ability, the time, the money, or all of the pieces to actually do this with, because it's all done for them. I love that. That is such a special gift. I could think of a lot of people I know that would really appreciate that and be able to use it. And then even these envelopes that Siobhan's created, maybe if you're going to give a gift card, or you're going to give a few pennies, or maybe you want to give a small gift, that could actually go in those envelopes too. So nothing is wasted and everything can be used. Absolutely in love with that, Siobhan. Thank you very much for sending that in. I have a feeling that Françoise is going to love sharing that with the world on Saturday too, just as much as I have sharing it with you all this evening. There's a lot of work gone into that little box, but what a present that would be. Okay, then we move on, and we have got some samples from our lovely Lynn. So let's have a little look what Lynn's been up to, shall we? So Lynn's brought in our sloth this time, popped it into our frame. She's used our stencil with the balloons, again in the background, and I can see some of our crafty concoctions being used to decorate that one up. Then we move on and we've got our crazy bird. Now, Peter, have we had many names for our crazy bird? Do you want to give us a couple of your favourites?
Judy's says has to be Scooter. That was the name of our crazy bird.
Scooter. Okay,
bit different, Scooter. There's lots of comments on here. Let me go all the way back up.
No, don't worry. I was just wondering if there was any that was sticking out in your mind. What ones were radiating through? Now we've got our lovely Tony coming in on this one, again with our different frames. So the different frames being used throughout these. This, of course, is the frame which is going to come with your numbers. This, of course, is the frame that comes with all the different sets with it. Loving the little placement there of the cheeky tongue. Then we move on and we've got Eduardo the elephant. Once again with those balloons being used over the background. And Lynn's been very cool here, isn't she? Very clever, where she's moved that stencil around a little bit and added in different colours, then drawn round the stencil and stamped in some random numbers. Really like that, very, very cool. And I also like the way that Lynn's coloured in a little elephant here, with lots of different patchwork colours being dotted throughout that stamped image. Then we got a little bit more pared back, a little bit more pastel, if we will. We've then got our sloth once again hanging in the tree. And I like the way actually that Lynn's added this into the frame, because it really gives placement and structure to where our sloth is going and where it's been. And then we've got happy birthday, the little heart underneath. We've got the little seal down here and the little envelope on the top there. And again, our paper's being used in the reverse of it. Then we've got a very bright and colourful elephant going on with holding on to those balloons this time. Not only do they have the wand in hand or trunk, they've also got the balloons too. We've got the little Let's Party tab, and we've got some little flowers dotted around on that one. That's a very fun, cool, colourful card. Then this time we've got our chameleon back, again with the balloons coming up from one side. We've got that cool dotty, spotty background stencil being used with some clear texture paste over the top of that one, I'm feeling, and some mixes going through it with the Colour Lab inks. And we've got the flies being used very cleverly to make this really cool, like scalloped border all the way around underneath that layer. That looks really cool, doesn't it? I like that a lot. I also like the way that Lynn has cut and layered our chameleon on top of the stamped image to kind of decoupaged it up to give it a different look. Now this one's fun. How lovely is this? With the atomic glitters being added onto each segment of the chameleon. So we've got some really cool, fun colours going on there. And then, of course, our numbers being used, again, in that kind of lottery style theme, running around about bingo-esque look. Have a wild birthday as the sentiment on this one. Once again, with that funky frame being used in the background. Then we've got a little fishy. Our little fishy is going through the seas this time with a paper pieced background. So lots of offcuts from the paper pad being used and layered up and stamped on and coloured in over to make this kind of washi tape-esque background, with the sentiment, of course, at the top there, may all of your birthday fishes come true. Then we've got a fun one. Lynn has gone full out here. What's going on there, Lynn? I reckon that is our white shards micro granite texture paste with some of our Chroma Lab inks added to it. Little square apertures cut in to, of course, place our crazy bird coming up and down from the card. What a fun way that is. That crazy bird really is crazy. Popping up from anywhere they can. And, of course, once again, a happy anniversary sentiment added to this one. Again, I could think of so many couples that this kind of card would work for perfectly. Then we've got a little fishy again, lots of bright colourfulness on this one, and layered up, of course, again with some inkiness going on in the background and some flowers coming around the side. Very fancy bow up in this corner too. Now this one, I got a sneaky of this on our email we sent out earlier today to our stockists, and I had to have a read through it. And I see this, I open the email and I see this card, and I was like, wow, look at that. So I did have a sneaky that this one was coming up, but I haven't actually seen it. But genuinely, wow. What a way to bring all of those characters together on one project. Doesn't it work though? Doesn't it fit? Doesn't it tell a story? That's a birthday party I want to go to. That's a celebration I want to be a part of. Isn't that a fun card? I don't think you could hand that to anybody and not expect them to have a bit of a giggle and a smile at this one. We've got literally every character in here. I don't think any of them are missing, are they? And it works. It really does look fun. And of course, if you wanted to, you could even stick some little wiggly eyes on them if you wanted. Or of course, and this applies to all of them, maybe some glossy glazes or some little accents on there. Even our Jamie Rogers Crafts glue dries with like a matte finish to it. It's not full on gloss, but it dries with like a matteness to it and a bit of a dimension. So you could even just glaze the eyes if you wanted to, and that would look really lovely. Now they're all the Lynn's samples. There is just a few more from me before we leave you in peace this evening. And I'm just going to share with you a couple that I've been doing. Now, I won't lie to you because I believe that honesty is always the best policy. We've had a bit of a bonkers week around here just recently. If I say week, maybe month. So I haven't actually had a lot of chance to play with these, but I couldn't not. I genuinely couldn't not. I know it sounds silly, But whenever we bring you new products, it's one of the perks of the job is to get to play with them and have a little go with them. And they might not always be amazing what I create, but I really enjoy being able to share with you just a different idea or a different take on them. And I didn't have a lot of time, so don't judge me. When I look at that lot, these probably shouldn't even be shown because they're not the best. And I colour like a 2-year-old, but I had fun doing them. So let's share with you what I've been up to in case it inspires you too. So one of the things I love doing is bringing in our MDF. So I've got a few tags here that I've been creating, and I've just stamped the images onto them. You're going to see the washi tape birthday bits. You're going to see our lovely Carlos coming in. This one I've gone round it with some of our metallic waxes to just tone it in slightly. This one I've added our little sloth onto as well. And I've left all of these ones that you can see here uncoated as such. I've just left them as they are. I've stamped them. I've coloured them with alcohol markers. Nothing too taxing at all. But I really wanted to show you how we could take these off onto MDF. And maybe again we're talking home decor, maybe we're talking gift giving, maybe we're going to turn these into a little mini album and we're going to concertina some paper between them and call them our covers. Or of course, I'm giving you the idea here of using them direct onto MDF. So maybe this is going to be our circles or our frames or our plaques like you've seen some of the other DT members use, and you're going to actually stamp directly onto them and work with them. Now this one I did exactly the same. I stamped, I coloured with alcohol markers, but I thought it needed something a little bit more, so I misted over it with our lovely white mica mist. So it's got a little bit of a sheen going onto it. That got me thinking about what else I could do with these. So I bought this one in and I weren't overly happy. This one looked a little bit dark. So I bought in our clear texture paste. Now it doesn't matter whether you're looking at the Jamie Rogers Crafts clear texture paste or the Blendite texture paste, they're both the same clear texture paste. And I applied it over the top with a brayer. So you can hopefully see that texture coming through, because when you roll that over with a brayer, you kind of get a texture to it. You get that kind of put down and pick up as it rolls over. And that's all I've done. And it kind of amplified the colours. I kind of see it spring to life in front of my very eyes. I still weren't overly happy with it, but I didn't mind it. So I thought I'd share it with you all because it gives you a different idea on if you do colour and it goes a little bit subdued. Sometimes clear glaze, clear texture paste, clear embossing powder will amplify that colour and just give you a little bit more to it. Here is another one which I wasn't too sure about. So over the top of this little fishy, I added our micro granite texture paste in the white shards. Now I don't know how well you're going to see this, but I'll do the sound for you. It's got that kind of nail file sound to it, and it gives it a beautiful texture that runs over the top of it, and it just gives it another glaze and again amplifies those colours so they come through slightly brighter. Give you a bit of a glimpse of what you could be doing with those. So that's just using some MDF ones. This one is again using some texture paste over the top. And then whilst the texture paste was wet, I sprinkled in some of our Atomics glitters. So you're going to see the odd sparkle running throughout this one. I also then stuck some little crystals onto the top of it as well, just to finish that off, and added a ribbon and a happy birthday down in the corner of it. This one we've brought our sloth in, and I don't know if you've noticed, but our sloth hanging in the tree, he can work in so many directions depending on where you want him to be. So this time I kind of went with the idea of the tree being slightly diagonal, and then added him in, added a few little gems and coloured in once again with alcohol markers. Then we're bringing our elephant. So this time with the elephant I've coloured in once again with alcohol markers. I've layered it up on matching colours of foundation cardstock. I've added one of our ribbons around it, and I've also used some papers in the background of it to just complement it with a little bow to finish it off. And then this one, same again, a little fishy, but this time I've used a clear texture paste over the top and again braided it. So if you can see a texture running over the top of that one, that's our clear texture paste coming into play. Again, I've matched in some of our papers to go in with the colouring to go in the background. I did think about adding a sentiment onto this one or maybe a couple of numbers. You certainly could do if you wanted to. Then once again, we bring back in the sloth, and this time the sloth is again standing in his tree or hanging in his tree, and kept very simple with some matching papers being used in the background, tying in with our scalloped and pierced and plain square dies to do some of the mats and layers. Now this one was actually coloured with some watercolour pens. So when I actually applied micro granite texture paste in white shard over the top of the brayer, do you like the action? You got the action before you were told what we was doing. It actually took the colour and it kind of bleeds the colour out slightly, which I really like because it gives it a kind of different version to it. But again, hopefully you can see the texture coming through, and you can see that white shard sat on top of our coloured background. If you didn't want that kind of little bit of bleed coming off of some of the colouring, then of course you could use a product that isn't going to bleed when it's wet. But I actually really quite liked it, and again kind of amplified the colour a little bit more. I've then double stacked and layered up my numbers to go on the top of the corner of that one. Then again, we've got our sloth, this time hanging in on a very clean and simple card for me. Usually most of my cards are very, very cluttered, but I thought I would try and show how this little cheeky character could just hang in the top of a corner, add in a sentiment, and in my mind, job done. Then we move on to our little fishy. So this time I've gone for main fishy, bit more fishy, little less fishy, and then built up the scene at the bottom and added in lots of little fishies flying around it with a few bubbles to boot, and then coloured in once again with alcohol markers. Our crazy bird is coming into this one, and this time with the crazy bird I've added into 3 balloons. I've once again braided over the top with that white shard texture paste, sprinkled in some glitter once again from the Atomics glitters just to complement the colours, and that of course is that lovely bluey one which I can never remember the name of. Let me dig in so I can share with you. That's the Aurora one. A lovely light blues because it matched in with a balloon choice that I'd gone for up in the air there. Then a couple more just to share with you. Lovely little elephant just being used off of the base of the card. Our balloons coming in and then having some stars and hearts placed into them and coloured in again with alcohol markers. A little Tony coming in on the side there, trying to share with you how that could have just been a slimline card if I wanted it to be, but actually I thought, well, I'm going to bring it in and I'm going to make it slightly larger. So I've gone for an insert panel with a number 10 on it, and then some of our papers to hopefully coordinate in with the colours that I'd used to colour in Tony. And then my last one from me is our lovely little chameleon. Again, with those balloons flying away in the background, the little cake there ready for him to blow out, and him perched on his little branch coming in from the left of the card there. And then again, colour matched in with our foundations cardstock. Any questions about any of that little lot?
Just a quick reminder of when we can buy them, please.
So all of the goodies we've been sharing with you this evening will be available on Hobbymaker this Saturday coming at 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. Francoise will be in the studios bringing you lots of inspiration, lots of demos, and even more samples because she's got some fabulous samples she's created that she'll be sharing with you too, of course, as well as some demos too. So if you can join her on Hobbymaker at 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. this Saturday. On the same day, we'll be playing with them a little bit here at Craft Mania for our demo day. So you will be able to purchase them at Craft Mania for the demo day too, and then all of our other stockists will have them available as of the following Tuesday at 10 a.m. So lots of options on where you can purchase them, lots of options on where you can track them down. But if you want to get your hands on them first, then Hobbymaker is your place to be this Saturday at 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. Okay. Any other questions, Peter?
No, just lots of love for the samples.
Now, as I say, I didn't have as much time as I would have liked, but I do like to sit and colour in. I might colour like a 2-year-old, I do, self-confessed, not the best. But I did colour in a few other panels, so I'm just going to, I'll stamp a few. So I just wanted to share a couple of bits with you that I have already done, just to give you some ideas of what else you could be doing, if I can find where I've put them. Here we go. So this is using crushed velvet paper, which is something I love stamping on. I think it was Laura and Siobhan who did this for our Christmas release. And I found that actually when you stamp on these kind of textured papers, when you colour over the top of them, it does help disguise your colouring. So when I say I colour a bit like a 2-year-old, I feel my colouring looks better if I do it onto a textured paper. So whether that's our crushed velvet paper or whether that's our linen paper, I just think it distracts the eye a little bit. And our linen paper is beautiful because it actually has a little look of fabric to it. It gives kind of the vibe of fabric or cross stitch maybe, and gives a bit of a different look to your images. So these are just a few of the ones I've coloured in. I haven't yet had a chance to do anything with them. I am somebody who loves to sit and colour in front of the TV. So of an evening when I'm going home from here, I'm sat there and I colour in and then I bring these in and I turn them into our cards throughout the day. I just haven't had quite as much time to turn them into the cards that I would have liked to, but hopefully sharing them with you in this format will give you a few ideas on what you could be doing with them or seeing them in some different colourways. Now this panel, I went a bit awry with this one. It didn't go quite as I wanted, but I actually kind of like where it ended up. I stamped it, I coloured it in, and then I put a self-adhesive sheet over the top of it. I used our Atomics glitters and I just sprinkled them around the edges of the panel as I went round in the pink and the lilac. And then in the gap in the middle, I filled it in with our diamond white glitter. And it really subdued the coloured image, but kind of gives the vibe of confetti in the air all the way around our little Tony the Toucan. So maybe that's something you want to do. If you're not happy with your colouring, build up with a self-adhesive sheet, add on some glitters, whether they're our glitters or maybe an iridescent glitter. It would certainly, again, add a bit more dimension and a bit more of a finish to your creation. And then one panel, and I haven't even finished this yet, I haven't even coloured it in, is one I might take home and do this evening, but I did want to share it with you. This is kind of one of my ideas with our crazy bird, is to kind of show you how that could be poking out in all different directions, different hats on, as if it's kind of like, okay then, we're ready for the party, where are you? And then add in a little happy birthday sentiment down the bottom here. Added different hats onto each of them and little character elements, and maybe I might add in the tongue into a couple of them as well, just to give it a bit of a different vibe. But it just needs to be coloured in, and then I think that would be the front of my card ready to go, to give you another idea on what you could be creating with these characters. Now, if you don't have any more questions about this collection, then we'll probably quite quickly bid you farewell for this evening, because you don't want to listen to us go on all evening, do you? But hopefully it's give you a little bit of a glimpse at what you could be purchasing and creating with this brand new celebration collection from Woodware, which once again will be available on Hobby Maker this Saturday at 1 PM and 5 PM. Now, do we have any other bits that we need to answer, Peter, or remind them of?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Covered it all, I think.
Okay, well, while you pick your winner for this evening, we'll have a little look at this week's die of the week, because I have been a bit naughty. I haven't been talking about our die of the week on our Monday Night Lives recently, and today I was like, I must remember to tell you about it. So if you haven't already seen the posts go up today, we of course, being Monday, have moved on to a new die of the week, and this week's die of the week is our butterfly rectangle. Now, I have a feeling that I can be perfectly honest with you and tell you that there is only about a dozen of these left in the warehouse. Is there not, Peter?
Correct.
Or I'm getting a nod from the independent adjudicator.
Yeah.
So you might find that this one has already headed out the door to our stockists, and when it's gone, it's gone. So don't look, well, do look too hard for it, because when it's gone, it's gone. So if you want it, you're going to have to track it down pretty quickly. In this set, there are 6 dies, and being a die of the week die, it could potentially be on offer with your stockists. So do have a little look around. The recommended retail price is $14.99. We allow them, if you like, or try to support them in being able to put it on an offer for you as low as $11.99. So do shop around, but you may well be able to find this at the $11.99-ish price point, where it should be $14.99. There are 6 dies in this set. You've got your beautiful butterfly frame, you have a backing plate to go behind it, you have your insert die so you can cut it out as a frame or choose to leave it as a solid, and then you have different butterflies that can be used completely on their own, or actually will fit underneath the ones you see cut around the edges, so that you can put another colour coming through from under them if you wish to. This is just one of this series of frames, and there is also infill panels that sit within it that say different words like thank you and you are so special and bits and bobs like that. The whole collection is now becoming very, very, very limited stock, but it would be nice to share with you just a few of the pieces that our team have been creating to give you some inspiration with this week's die of the week. So this one actually using that outside edge to create the frame of the card, the card base, turning that into a gatefold and then adding a happy birthday sentiment into the middle of it. This one done by Lynn. This is gorgeous. Look how regal that looks. Isn't that beautiful? Again, bringing in our crafty concoctions. I can see lots of our glitters being used in this one to create that beautiful colourway that she has then die cut her elements from, teaming that with some gold mirror card and then building that one up, adding on those little butterflies on the edges. Another one here done by Ian, and Ian has added even more to that frame by adding that beautiful flourish behind it, building up on the actual top of it with those butterflies that have had some waxes added over the top of them. And then this one's lovely. This one's also Ian. Ian has created a little stepper card there using that frame and even using these as the embellishments going across the front there, and again on the actual front of that card too. And then I'm not meant to share all of these with you, so let's dig a little bit further. Oh, these are pretty. This one's done by Laura on the birth of your baby, going for the pinks and the blue colour scheme, and of course adding those butterflies in underneath the cut ones on the top there. Another one here by Laura where she has added the butterflies into the middle of the frame with the get well soon, and then gone for that solid panel underneath to let that sort of coconut white shine through from underneath. And then this one's lovely. I don't know who's done this one. This one's not wrote on. I'm not too sure who's done that one. I think maybe Wendy, but sorry if I'm crediting the wrong person. But a beautiful rainbow colourway being used over that one with some blended inks and then cut out and layered. And our kaleidoscope butterfly stencil being used in the reverse. I think that's Ian actually. I have a feeling that might well be Ian. But keep an eye out on our Facebook page, of course, right where you are right now on the Creative Expressions Facebook page, because there are lots of these cards will be appearing each day as they are posted at 4 p.m. to give you inspiration every day with this week's die of the week, right the way through to next Monday when we will move on to the next die of the week. So do keep an eye out for those. And of course, if you have any questions, pop them on the actual posts and ourselves and the DT will do our very best to answer them for you. But hopefully it'll give you a bit of inspiration on what you could be doing with that die and all of the ones in that series, because just because we're focusing on that one this week, the ideas might start setting in that you could be doing that with the maple leaf frame, for instance, from that collection, or one of the other ones. There's quite a few in that set that you might like to dig into and have a little look through. Have you picked the winner for this evening, Peter?
Indeed, that card is from Lynn.
Oh, is it? Oh, good.
Mm.
Good. Did we say Lynn in the end? I feel
know.
like I
We went from
yo-yoed for
Wendy
about 3
to
people.
Ian, I think.
I don't know if Lynn was ever the one we guessed at, so sorry Lynn if we
Sorry,
didn't
Lynn.
get there. But yeah, joy to have them all to share with you. Let's head on over to our... I've got to try and find the right button. It's terrible. You'd have
Could
to
end
be
up anywhere.
blindfolded. Should we see where in the building we end up?
Yeah.
Oh,
who knows?
There we go. There we
But,
are, sausage cam.
Yeah, but no, thanks all for joining us tonight for our little Woodware sneaky peek. Lots of hello, in past the goodies. Thanks for all your names. It's a bit blurry. Am I a bit blurry? It's probably an improvement actually, isn't it? Anyway, thanks for all your little comments and little names. The winner this evening is congratulations goes to Mary Ellis. So congratulations, Mary. Yeah, Mary. It shows Crazy Maisie.
Crazy Maisie.
I like that bit of fun. So drop us an email, Mary, at jamierogerscrafts@hotmail.com, and we'll get them popped in the post for you. So yeah, thank you all for taking part and joining us this evening. Over to the boss man. Set manager extraordinaire has done his job. That's what Francois called me.
Oh, is it now?
She's very misled, I think. So anyway.
We'll give him that compliment. Absolutely, he's amazing. Okay, so a few more bits to let you know about this week, just before we forget and leave you all in peace. On Thursday evening at 7 p.m, Gwen Fletcher will be right here on this page. She will be bringing you some inspiration with brand new romance collection from Sue Wilson as she celebrates the stockist launch, which will be taking place tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for this release. Now, what that means is that Gwen will have all the cards done by Sue, the DT, and herself to hand to run through and give you as much inspiration as she possibly can. She will also make a couple of cards with you, I am sure. So if you can join her right here on this page, 7 p.m. on Thursday, for inspiration overload with the romance collection, I'm sure that'll be a joy to watch. Gwen's lives always are brilliant, aren't they? I know a lot of you love them as much as I do. She's always full of hints and tips and tricks and ideas that really do help us all craft much better. So join her 7 p.m. right here on this page. On Saturday, you've got a bit of a choice going on here. You can watch Hobby Maker, of course, with this brand new collection from Francois and Woodware at 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. I wouldn't dilly-dally if you like the look of it, genuinely, and this isn't something we've discussed, but I'm pretty sure, I'm confident I know the answer to this. If we go and it does sell out on air, which did happen for the last Woodware show or the first Woodware show, we're not going to be able to refill that in time for Christmas, are we?
No,
That's
sadly
not
not.
going to happen because
No.
we would have to have production slots and deliveries and all them things. So if you are looking at this and hoping to find this under the tree come Christmas Day, then do make sure you get your orders into Father Christmas very, very soon when it goes live at 1 p.m. or 5 p.m. on Saturday. And then, of course, we do have our demo day taking place at Craft Mania in Great Yarmouth. And me and Gwen will be in the building, as well as Wendy from the DT. So there's going to be all three of us crafting up a storm from 10 till 4 at Craft Mania in Great Yarmouth. If you'd like to know more about that event, check out the event section of the Creative Expressions page. You'll also find an event being published tomorrow for the Hobby Maker shows too. So if you have any questions about them, you can check that out there. And then next Monday, I will be right back here at 7 p.m. for our Monday Night Natter. But do not miss something, which is actually a really little fun feature we're running. Every Sunday, we do our DT chat. And this Sunday just gone, as in yesterday, was our Laura's. Next week, I'm not even too sure who it's going to be, but one of our DT members will be joining you at lunchtime, 12 p.m, AM, PM, PM, midday.
Let's go midday.
Midday?
Yeah.
It's PM, isn't it? Because we go over into the PM hours.
Yeah.
So yeah, PM, 12 AM. I don't know if we'd be up for that one. So at midday anyway, join them on the Facebook page. It's not a live, it is just a chat. Think AOL chat rooms 1990. It is your chance to see a few pictures and read a few details about the member in question that week and have a bit of a chit chat with them, whether it's how, if you want to ask what they do when they get a mojo block, whether it's you want to know how they organise their craft room, whether you want to know how they started in craft, or maybe how many cats and dogs they own. Up to you. It's all about what you would like to know about our DT members. So join them midday on Sunday for our DT chat. Okay, any other questions before we leave them in peace?
No, all good. And it's Ian this Sunday.
It's Ian this Sunday,
It's
is it?
Ian.
Lovely. It's
Yep.
kind of gone round and round. I don't think Ian's done one yet, has he? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. So yeah, join Ian on Sunday at midday for that DT chat. Okay, we are going to bid you farewell for this evening. Thank you all for joining us. I hope you've been inspired as what you could create with our brand new celebration collection from Woodware. And I hope you'll be joining us in watching Francoise this Saturday on Hobby Maker at 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. From me, good night.
And good night from me.
Night all.
Take care.
See you
Bye.
soon.